Hello everyone, my name is AZZATRU, how are you? And welcome to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video of mine. And in this video I've got some really awesome mods to showcase today. This is another top 5 mods of the week episode. We're into week 8 and like I said, we've got some really awesome mods to look at. There hasn't been loads of mods made in the past week for Battlefront 2, but there has been some incredible ones. And if you know about Battlefront 3, the failed sequel to Battlefront 2 2005, you are going to love the winner of this week's mods of the week. But let's get started with another honourable mention, like the past few weeks. So we have TIE Pilot Iden. This was created by Matt Demon. So what this does is it replaces her traditional Inferno Squad uniform but with a standard Empire pilot look. So you can use all of her abilities, but she just does not look part of Inferno Squad. I do like how there is a lack of red and it looks more traditional Empire. One of the mods that I'm going to be showcasing later on in the video is very similar to this mod, it just doesn't use Iden. So I really like this mod because it does go back to Iden's origins. Let's start the countdown then, and at number 5 we have the red AT-AT Visor from Cyril. So if you remember watching Empire Strikes Back, you will remember the red visor of the AT-ATs on Hoth. And what this does is it adds them to every single AT-AT in the game. So when you're playing on Hoth, you can see the red visors and they look more terrifying this way, I must say. It definitely made them look more menacing when you was first watching the film, because they're very slow, but when you see them with a red line, that just makes them seem worse. In the 4th position this week is a mod for a character I actually really liked back when I first started watching Star Wars. This was Captain Panaka, and he was the head of the Royal Guard on Naboo for Queen Amidala. So you will remember this character from episode 1. I actually found out recently that he does have a canon backstory where he stays loyal to Palpatine and actually becomes a Moff in the Empire before getting assassinated after Saw Gerrera from Rogue One actually orders his assassination. He actually started linking up how Leia could potentially have been Padme's daughter. So I actually really like that backstory and that additional detail on his future, because I would have liked to have seen him in episode 2. It's just a shame that he actually ended up being bad, despite being such a hero, the Phantom Menace. So this mod from Fiji replaces Finn's looks a little bit. He keeps his face and his abilities, but he does get this Royal Naboo armor, or just clothing, because it's not really armor, and it's just pretty cool to use, especially when you're playing on Naboo. It's not something I thought was going to be part of the game or part of the modding community, but here we are, we actually have it. Number 3 this week we have post Windu Palpatine. So just after Palpatine uses his Force Lightning on Mace Windu and he does become very old and wrinkled. As you can see, it's a fantastic mod, and this was created by Waters and Chucky. So, you know, he has his Revenge of the Sith robes, and I just think this mod is fantastic. This is probably one of my favourite Palpatine mods from the modding community. It's just so well done. The runner-up for this week is a mod from Sorox, and it's TIE Fighter Pilot. So what this does is it replaces the officer class look with a very detailed and a good looking version of the TIE Fighter Pilot that we all know and love. This does look similar to Iden's outfit, but there are differences, and if you want to use the officer class for a TIE Fighter Pilot, then you can do this with this mod. It's just really good. And the winner of this week's top 5 mods of the week is Battlefront 3 Clone Wars Overhaul by Flores. So, what this mod does, it's actually 3 in 1, is it uses assets and a bunch of other stuff from the cancelled Battlefront 3, which was being made by Free Radical, very close to where I live actually. I think that's amazing. It's just such a shame that this game was cancelled because it had so much potential, and I'm sure every single person that knows about this story would love to have seen this game come to fruition. And unfortunately there was just a lot of issues, mainly down to how LucasArts was being functioned at the time, money and that sort of stuff, and it just never happened, and we did not get another Battlefront game for 10 years. But yeah, this game was actually in development not far from me, and I would have loved to have played this 10 years ago pretty much if it did get released. So let's talk about this mod then. So this mod actually includes a lot of different stuff. It includes the main protagonist and antagonist of Battlefront 3's story, X1 and X2. They're 2 clone troopers, 2 brothers that are Force sensitive. They replace Han and Finn in terms of models in the collection menu, and as you can see there are star cards that have been custom made in terms of pictures, and they also have just images of them in the selection screen as well of themselves. It's just really awesome. All the Phase 1 and 2 clone troopers have been given 501st looks using the actual colours and look from the leaked files of Battlefront 3. So whether you're playing Phase 1 or Phase 2, you get the 501st as they were being made for Battlefront 3. Same goes for the Battlefront 3 droids, so all of the droids look exactly how they would have looked if the game did release. There's also Battlefront 3 loading screens, so you do get the classic look that we all have seen many times. It's just a shame we did not get this game. And finally, there is also a brand new Vulture droid that looks and sounds just like how it did in Battlefront 3. And according to the modder, there is going to be an update which will include clone star cards for the Heavy and Specialist, 2 cards for X2 that are currently just filled with placeholders, and more. So that will be really cool to see, and if it's a really big update, I might consider it for a future video, maybe by itself. Comment below what mod was your favourite in the comment section, I'd really appreciate that, and use the links in the description below to go check out all of the mods you have seen, and if you wish to use them, go download them. And if you missed any of the 2 previous videos on screen, go check them out, and thank you very much for watching. I shall see you all in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.